ball now and execute the option pretty well right here. Fine lead block by Alfred Booker right there. Good running by Mark Manafo. And, you know, we're down inside their 50-yard line now.
Well, you're driving, and this is not what you want to see.
Well, you know, again, John, we got down in there inside their 40-yard line 7 times in the ball game and only put 3 points on the board. And that's not like the Falcons. And, of course, you know, you can't tell them for the ball game. We can't go out there and turn the ball over, and we've got to call some turnovers, and we only caused 1 turnover. And, of course, we had 3 turnovers in the game.
Well, they're driving again right here, up the middle right there. And then Burline, their quarterback, and you're still playing tough defensively. A nice play.
Well, fine sack there by Chad Hennings. And, of course, you know, that was a big play because they had driven the ball down there after that turnover. And then, of course, they come in and try the field goal right here. And Carney, you know, misses to the right there and gives us great life. And, you know, I was proud of our defense right there. But, John, you got to respect the fact of how big they are up front. And, of course, there was such a size differential right there.
Pat Evans up the middle for a good gain.
Good read by Jimmy and a fine run by Pat. Now we're driving that ball, executing the option real. Watch Jimmy keep right here. And, you know, a great 8-yard play. And we moved the ball very well there in the early part of the ball game.
Well, you settled for a field goal.
Well, we came up, doggone it, 4th down and 1. So doggone many times in that ball game. And we kicked the field goal. And, of course, it's very unlikely Chris to miss that ball in that short a distance. But it was just barely wide to the left right there. Again, good pressure, fine pressure there by Ty Hankermer. And, you know, we had 3 sacks in the ball game, and we put good pressure on them all afternoon. They had to punt the ball back. Again, Jimmy reading the option well. And, you know, that was a 3rd down play, but doggone it, we come up 1 yard short again. But this time, Chris, of course, is true from the 13-yard line. And, you know, and again, we've got a 30-yard field goal there by him.
Well, you're leading 3-0. We haven't seen this happen in a while.
Boy, this doesn't happen. And Chris did exactly. We were scared to death of Timmy Brown, and he is truly an All-American player with 4.4 speed. And we nailed the ball right in the corner where we wanted to. We just missed the open tackle right there. Our safety man, you know, over-pursues the dadgone play. And, boy, that's a great individual performance by them right there. And, you know, we did exactly what our game plan was, is to kick the ball in the corner, hoping he'd run it up the sideline, but he broke that ball back to the middle of the field.
He's a great athlete.
Great football player, no question about that.
Well, you're coming right back again, though, Mark Manafo.
Well, great drive. Fine counter-dive play by Mark. Good blocking up front there by Lohman and by Roy Garcia. And then we go down, and we've got a play open. And this, I thought, was a big play in the ball game. And, you know, it's a very questionable call, and we're going to have to study that on our film very, very closely. But, you know, that stopped our drive. And to be honest with you, we came up 4th down and 1. And dadgone it, we jumped off sides after calling timeout. And, of course, then we had to punt the ball. Mark did a great job kicking that ball, you know, down inside the 10-yard line. And, of course, he does that so well. He's the most unselfish kicker in the dadgone world, John. He, you know, sacrifices distance to get us in good field position.
Well, you're driving again, but another turnover.
That's exactly right. And, of course, turnovers, you know, were the difference in the ball game. We had the right play call, we felt like. The tight end was open. The crossing receiver was open. But you got to give their Rover Streeter credit, and he came in there and hit Jimmy with his back to him. And, of course, Jimmy just couldn't see him.
Well, they get driving again right here before the end of the half, Dumas, and then out of the wishbone.
Oh, and Burline, I thought, you know, did a pretty good job. And it's story of the game, of course, and that's Michael Tolliver and Brady Glick making the play there in the open field. But, you know, they executed our game plan, to be honest with you. They kept the ball 6 minutes longer in the game. And, of course, in that 3rd quarter when they had 2 drives, they really ate up a lot of the clock. Busted play right here, but Burline, of course, you know, reacts instinctively there and takes it in, and that puts him in very, very good shape now.
Well, they kick it back to you, but you're forced to punt it again, and then they get the ball back.
They get the ball back, and, of course, this is a fine play right here by Hennings and by Martin. And, you know, we put good pressure on them right there, and I thought our defensive front played hard. But, again, you know, there's such a size advantage. But now this shouldn't happen at any time against a good football team. There's only 9 seconds left. They go downtown with it, and we were back in our playing soft in our defense. But our free safety built on the out route, and you know, they came back on the backside. And if you notice, Burline was looking to his right there, and he came back and threw it into Brown. But that was a great individual catch because we had good coverage on the play.
Saw a lot of 81 on Saturday afternoon. What'd you do at halftime? Did you make a few adjustments? What'd you tell the kids?
Well, I just told them, you know, you got to believe we've been in this situation before, and you know, I didn't feel like that Notre Dame, you know, had really dominated the game. I just felt like that it was on our own ineptness that we were in the position that we were in, and if we come back out and play the type of game we were capable of playing, wasn't any question in my mind we couldn't win the ball game in the second half.
All right, let's go out to Notre Dame Stadium and pick it up in the second half. Now, they're going to kick off to you, Coach, or no, you kick off to them, I'm sorry.
Well, that's right. They of course, you know, won the toss, deferred their option, and then we sky kicked. Beautiful kick by Chris, right down 20 yards. Great coverage right down there by Michael Gann, and we've got him down there on the 30-yard line. But now this is again Johnson, and he was a thorn in our side. Fine hit by Steve Sigler, but look at him spin and get 4 or 5 extra yards off Kevin and off Tommy right there, and they take that ball and drive right down the length of the field, 72 yards, and of course get the score. And I thought really, truly, here's where their size differential made a lot of difference because they were able to take that ball. Then we come back, and we're unable to move it. That's a third down play right there. Streeter tips the ball, and now we've got to punt the ball. And those 2 possessions, I thought, might have spelled the ball game for us. This is a fine catch again by Brown, and he's a true All-American football player, but you got to give the offensive front of Notre Dame a lot of credit because, by goodness, they did a good job protecting Burline. And here he shows he can scramble a little bit.
Yeah, he showed me more mobility than I thought he had, to be honest with you.
Fine play by Kevin Martin right there, but he did. He had a little mobility, I think, than we anticipated. And again, they take that ball down. But, John, in the third quarter, of course, they dominated the clock, and that's our game plan, to be honest with you. And they kept that ball 11 minutes in that third quarter. And, of course, we were behind, in the ball game there, and we had to have the ball in order to catch up.
Well, you switched quarterbacks. You went with a freshman.
Well, we felt like there would be a little change of pace, and we felt like we needed to give him the playing experience right there. And look, he's quick, and he scrambles, and he's trying to get rid of the ball. And there's Mark Monapo right over there. And, passing teams, daggone it, they probably would have not called that intentional grounding. But we had a eligible receiver in the area, but they called it because he looked like he was under duress and trying a well-executed play by Mark and Albert Booker right here on the halfback running pass. And, that got us again down in their territory.
All right, well, there it is. We're going into the fourth quarter, Coach, and they've got the ball back.
Well, this is a fine draw play, and it looks like now we're beginning to get a little tired. I thought them staying on the field so long took a lot of juice out of our defense, but we're still playing hard. There's Mackey and EJ, we're really putting pressure there by Ty, and they've had to punt the ball now back to us. So when the defense, played hard that fourth quarter, here's a fine screen pass to Mark Monapo, a great hit right there, and boy, Robbie Krause is just in the right spot, and we're fortunate to be able to keep that ball right there.
Well, D shows a lot of promise. I think he's got to feel like this experience is going to help him in the long run.